Hello my crafty friends, Corrine here from Corrine Crafts. I hope you are all well and having a good start to the new week. Now I have got the most beautiful card for you tonight. Look at that, a little bit of black and white and beige. You don't need lots of different colours to make stunning projects. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to show you how to use it. We're also going to talk about how you can change it to make it fit with your crafty stash. I hope you like that. And if you, as always, if you have a go, please don't forget to share your projects. So I think we should just crack on and see how this is made. Putting this card together, it really is quite a simple card, but the finished effect is so effective. So we're going to start with a piece of watercolour card. Now, the only measurement I need to know is the width. The width is 5 inches wide and it can be any length. My finished card topper is just over, it's going to be, the topper is going to be 5 inches by 6.5. So this can be any height up to the 6.5, because what we're going to do is we're going to build it up on the card base. So we've got the card base here and we've got the matte layer in the black. You can do more matte layers if you want, but I'm just going to do the 2. So we're just going to build it up onto there. So we need to start colouring this piece in, and we're going to do it really simply. We're not going to do anything fancy. So I'm going to start with my stencil, and we're going to just use this very basic, it's almost like a cowhide stencil. And we're just going to put it on to our card. So I'm going to use it widthways. You could put it that way, but it's obviously not wide enough. So I'm going to pop it this way, and I'm going to pop it right up to the top of my card. Now you'll see I put a line across there because this is the line where I'm going to pop that card up to. So I am going to colour below that line, but that's basically my guide to show me that my card design is going to be hidden underneath that line, so I just know where to concentrate to. So I'm going to get a piece of masking tape and I'm just going to tape it down at the bottom. Doesn't matter if it rips, doesn't matter if it snags, because no one's going to see that because it's below the line, so I know everything there is not going to be seen. So I'm going to basically use my water reactive. I'm going to use Sandstorm, and if I need a little bit of depth, I'm going to add a tiny bit of Fire Brown, but I'm not going to need much. So I'm going to start with my Sandstorm and I'm going to pick it up. I know I'm using my yellow blending brush, but I don't have a brown one. And I'm just going to start in the middle, and I'm just going to add the colour onto the background. Now I don't need to go too dark. Now what I want to do is I want to fade out towards the top and towards the edges. You notice I do it first onto the masking tape and then onto the card, so that I don't get any of those clouds effects. So I'm going to come round, just blending it out. Remember, you'll get ink onto your stencil, so we just blend that. We're going to use that ink that's on our stencil. Now, at the moment, I think I'm a little bit lopsided. I've come more over to my left than to my right. So let's just blend it out a little bit more on the right, just to do it. Now, it's taped down. So if I want to have a look, I can see, can you see that? Looking absolutely perfect. And I know my stencil's going to pop back onto the right place. Just a little bit more depth. Now I'm just going to grab the tiniest bit of Fire Brown, pick up a bit of Sandstorm, starting here, and I'm just going to go round the centre, just to add a little bit of depth in the centre. Pick up the Fire Brown and blend it out. Not Fire Brown, Sandstorm, and blend it out. I want it only just a little bit deeper in that centre. So now I know my line's going to come across there, but at the minute I feel like it's just finishing a little bit. Proud of that. So let's just drag it down just to make sure we've got enough. Let me just have a look. Am I even? I think I am. Doesn't that look amazing? Okay, once I'm happy with that, I can put my inks away, and then I can then take this stencil off. There we go, look at that. Now you could be doing any shapes, you could be doing an asymmetric shape. I just really like this sort of cowhide one. And then I'm going to bring in my stamping press. Now, I think I've almost gone too busy a flower, but I am limited on the flower stamps that I have, so I just had to use the one that I could find. Now it is a Stamps by Me one, so it's going to stamp absolutely beautifully. Yeah, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to find a bit of this, and I'm going to pop it on to here. So I want to find it. See, if I go that way, it's a little bit wide. If I go that way, it's still a bit wide. I like it that way around. So remember, I've got my line here, so I'm just going to pop it just on to there and centre it up. I can still roughly see my line. I've still got cowhide pattern coming out of the top, and then we can then just pick that up. Now I am going to use a waterproof ink pad, and you'll see why in a minute, because we're going to just do a little bit of colouring, so it's quite good to do a waterproof. So I don't even need to stamp up the whole stamp, because let me just have a look. Yeah, I've gone below that line there. So let's just, I think I'll probably do 2 stamps just to make sure I've got a good image. So we can pop that down. I'm just going to make sure I've caught all the little bits, because I know this one sometimes catches just there. And then look at that. Now don't worry about that being at an angle. Once we've finished, it won't look like it's at an angle. It's just the way I've inked it up. So let me see. Actually, I don't think I need to re-ink. I think we're doing pretty good there. Yeah, because I don't want it too intense. Okay, so we can take that off and then get rid of that. And then we're going to just do a little bit of extra work to this. So I'm going to bring in my mat, and I'm going to bring in my ink pads again. So I'm going to put, you won't be able to see it very well, but promise me it's there. So I'll put a bit of sandstorm down there, and I'll put the tiniest little bit, of Friar Brown up at the top. And then I'm going to grab my sparkle pen. And this is why I was saying about using a waterproof ink. So just so that you can see, my pencil line is here. I'm just going to just extend it there. There we go. So that's my pencil line. You can just see it there. And so I know that's the line above which I need to colour. There's no point colouring anything below. I just want to colour it above. So I'm going to just squeeze out a little bit of my sparkle pen. I don't want to saturate the card, so I'm just going to, probably quite a good job, because I don't think some of my sparkle pens are really had better days. So I'm just going to mix that in, because I'm trying to just thicken it up so that I'm not going to squeeze it out again. And then I'm just going to paint in these flowers. Now they should overpaint quite nicely, because the ink that I've used underneath is exactly the same ink. So I'll go over first with the sandstorm, and then if I need to, I can just pick up a little bit of Friar Brown, and then I can just add in a little bit of shading if I wanted to. But it's not about shading this really, it's just about adding in that colour. I'm just going that in case I end up missing that line. So then I can bring in the sandstorm, just drag it out there, and then if I need to pick up a bit more ink, so that is a petal. I'm not going in lots of different colours, I'm just keeping it all sort of, we're still on that monotone theme, which we really, really love. Don't worry that the background will have gone beyond the flowers, which is good, which is what we want. We want to see some of that background behind. So I'm just literally going all over. At this moment in time, I'm not worrying about shading too much, just making sure that I've covered the stamped image with the ink. Just like that. Now, every time you do this, you're going to get a different effect, because it's going to really vary on how you've done the background. I might actually pick up a little bit more background in a minute. We'll see how we're going. We'll see how we're going, because at the moment I'm not really seeing the background. I might have gone overly light, but it's easier to add a little bit more than to take away, isn't it? We always say that. Just picking up that ink. So you see, I'm not adding any more sparkle. I've just done the one lot, and it's just enough. So now I'm going to come in with my brown, and I'm just going to highlight some of the areas just like that, just where it might be a little bit darker. Remember, you've got all that sketching in your stamp image, so don't worry about it. The stamp will show you where to colour. Blend that out a little bit. So I need to come like here, it'll be a little bit darker, and it's going to be a little bit darker here. Oh, I've not coloured in that bit, have I? That's okay. So we can come up here and up here. Let's come, I can always add a little bit more sandstorm. It's hard to see the sandstorm, but it is there. Look, I forgot to paint that one in. I forgot to paint that. So drag that darker colour, and I forgot to paint it there, look. There we go. Just go round, just applying that darker colour where you think it might be needed. Only a little bit. Just that little touch. If you need to, there we go. And then on here, just around the centre. I love this sort of colouring where you sort of just, you know, just doing a little bit and you don't have to do too much at all. There we go. Right, I'm going to leave that like that. I'm just going to give it a quick blast dry. So if you just bear with me, I'll be right back when I have dried that image off. Okay, so that is my image. Now I'm just going to line this back up. It's actually quite easy because I use the top edge, so I can actually see quite quickly where I want it to line back up, which is just, I'm just lining it back up with some of the images. There we go. Now what I did was I was a little bit over cautious with my stenciling. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to add a little bit more stenciling. I just want it to creep out from behind that image. And unfortunately I was just a little bit too gentle. So you can't see what it's achieving at the moment because obviously the stencil's in the way, so the white doesn't pop. But once I take this stencil off, so I'm not going right to the top, I'm just blending it out, just all the way, just there. You notice how just tap the brush before you apply it to there, and then look, that's showing up a little bit better, isn't it? Let's do a little bit more around here, just a little bit. And down that side, all the way around. Oh yes, I like that. Right, that should do. Sometimes you just got to go in and do a little bit more. There we go. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So you've just got those colours coming through with those flowers. Right, so we are nearly there. So as I mentioned before, we've got a card base and a black matte layer, so we're going to pop that onto there. Let's get the base out of the way for a minute. So this one's going to go on to here at the top, so I'm going to stick that on, and that's going to pop across here. Just pop that on, just a little bit of a wet glue. So as I said, this is 5 inches wide. This is just over 6.5, so I've just gone wider by about just over 1/8 of an inch. So we can pop that onto there. I've made a smudge down there, but luckily it's below my line, so I'm all right about that. So we can pop that on there. So you can see I've got nice matching border. You don't need to worry about this. This is a good thing about cutting it shorter. Match your borders, top and sides, and then you're perfect. Then the next thing I've got is I've got some of this textured card. I love this. It's an old one from Create and Craft. So what I wanted to do was put it at least there. So I'm just going to pop it. So there's my line. I just drew my line a little bit shy so that I knew it wouldn't show. So that's going to go on like that. Now I used to love this. I got this. I hope it doesn't run out. I know when I was on Crafters, Lily and I both used to use it quite often. I think she probably still uses it on her demos, it's absolutely gorgeous. But it was just a Create and Craft brand. It wasn't branded by any others. But it just adds a lovely little bit of texture to our projects. So that's going like that. And then we're going to put a black piece on. So I'm going to just put the black piece on level with that. So I've cut that to 5 inches as well. Now you could just stick these, because I'm going to pop a piece of ribbon around. I'm going to wrap it around the whole thing. If you didn't want it to go around the whole thing, you could just stick these top 2 together and this black one and pop it on, and then stick it on the black layer. But I'm going to pop this onto here. That's going to go right virtually to the end of there, so it's all nice and neat. So everything's been cut to 5 centimeters. So that's cut like that. Can you see why I had the line now? So you can see how it goes. And then I've just got a piece of ribbon. Let's try and center up the ribbon. That's pretty centered. So what I want is some red liner. So what I'm going to do is hold that. That's centered nicely. Turn it round. turn it around. So all I did was I cut the black to 1.5 inches because I just measured my whatever ribbon you want to use, and then I just just gave it a fraction bigger. So let's cut a couple of pieces of red liner. These are quite big pieces of red liner, but that'll be fine. So I'm going to pop that one on there. Just go straight over that. Let me double check this is straight. Yes, it is, and it's nicely centered. So I can stick that one down. Now, if you want to put more tape on, you can. If you want to take the back off, you can. There is absolutely no need. That isn't going anywhere. That is nicely secured. I'm actually just going to get one more piece on each side just to make sure. Corrine, you've cut that a bit shy. Right, let's do that one there. I've done this one a bit short. Oh, it goes across. I need a little bit more on that side. I've been a bit stingy with my red liner. Never mind. If you go to Sticks 2, you'll find all your red liner that you need on there. Okay, so I'm not going to even take the back off the red liner, I don't think. And then all I'm going to do, again, Sticks 2, I'm just going to get the my thinnest foam roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it so that we don't get a dip. So I'm going to go across here. And then I'm going to come quite close to the ribbon here. And then I'm going to do another one just here. That little bit I cut off, it's not going to get wasted. I'm going to put it in the middle there. I think I need another piece. Let's cut myself another piece. There we go. And that one's going to go there. And again, let's just lift that one up, put that one there and that one there, so we don't waste any pieces whatsoever. So this now we'll lift up. We are so nearly there. Such a pretty card. And again, just following that monotone. We've been doing these a few monotone ones, so this is sort of monotone with a pop of beige, I suppose you could say, but it's really pretty. Okay, as you know, when I'm doing something like this, I always think it's easier to put a bit of wet glue on your foam tape so that nothing sticks until you've got it where you want it to. If you, like I say, if you want to take the back off that red liner tape, go for it. And this, as I was saying, is just an 8-inch card cut down. Let me see. I know it's just a little bit low on the camera, but it means I can see. I'll lift it up. There we go. There you are. You can see. Sorry, I just needed to see the top. And that is perfect fit. Isn't that looking gorgeous? So I've got 2 bits, or 3 bits really left to do. I've got a gorgeous butterfly and I've got a sentiment. So I'm going to do my sentiment with some 3D glue, and I'm just going to smother the back in 3D glue, just like that. And then that is going to, I need to make sure it's centered. I'm going to pop it so it's half on the ribbon and half on the bottom, and I'm just going to give it a little press, and that 3D glue will level itself out. Now that is centered, isn't it? Yep. Just congratulations, I thought that was perfect. So my butterfly, let's give it a little bit of shape. I don't like flat butterflies, never do. So let's give it a little bit of shape. Put a bit on there. Let's go a little bit of glue on the back. Or I might have regretted not putting my pearls on first, but never mind. And then this is going to go just bridging those 2 elements. Just like that. Then I've got a couple of different sets of pearls. Oh, where do I get into these? How do I get into these? Oh, there they are. Right. Let's get the right tweezers. And I'm just going to put these down the centre of my butterfly. 1. And another one. 2. Come on, they're sticking to me. Let's do a 3rd one. 3, just like that. And then we can put, might go for some slightly bigger ones. Excuse to say to these are the ones that I colour in because I love doing it that way. Let's see. Let's do 1, 2, just like that. There you go. I think that'll do. I think that will do. How about that for a different, I know I've not called it that, but a different sort of monochrome, black and cream with it, or black and white with a pop of beige. Isn't that beautiful? You don't need lots of colours for a gorgeous card. And that sits lovely because we've wrapped the ribbon round and then we've added the foam up there. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I am loving that. And I love the little bit of twinkle by using my sparkle pen just to paint those flowers. Isn't that gorgeous? The other way you could have done it is you could have put the flowers on, painted them, masked them over, then done your stenciling. It's up to you. There's lots of different ways to do it. Love the sentiment. Congratulations. It can be for anything. It can be anniversary. It can be birthday, new job, new baby, whatever you want. There you go. I hope you like that. That was a bit of fun, wasn't it? So there we go. That's today's project. If you have a go, you can change the stamps. You can change the butterfly. You can put whatever you want to. Change the colours, change the ribbon, the sentiment. It's entirely up to you. You could have a pattern paper down here. You make it yours. I'd love to see what you make. Please do share. Please don't forget to click on the links down at the bottom. Just so that you know, I was going to show you the butterfly that I used was a duo die one. As I say, I really like you to go into your craft stash and see what you can get. This is one from when I was working on Create and Craft, but I'm sure you've got a butterfly die. So until next time, my friends, enjoy your crafting. Have a lovely time, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Happy crafting. Speak to you soon. Bye.